Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 11 of Stick Talk Hockey. I'm your host, Tiko Raspy, and this is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
Welcome back. We got an episode this week with a whole lot of news around the league, and a lot of it kind of sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so first of all, we're going to talk about the Canucks coach, Bruce Boudreau, who was already a lame duck coach this year, didn't have a contract going past this year. It was pretty openly known since about November that they've been looking for a new coach, that being Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin.
I mean, Rutherford went on record at the beginning of the year and said he didn't even want him. Like, they didn't even really start the season yet. I think they were like 5 games in, and he was like, "Whoa, he's just here. Pretty much this."
Yeah. Well, and he didn't. To be fair, like a lot of times when a management group comes in, which Rutherford and co came in just last year, they hire their guy, right, as the coach. It's their vision. Ownership hired Boudreau before Rutherford got here, so I do understand that they were waiting to get their guy in. However,
you don't say it publicly.
Yeah. This guy, his contract's up at the end of the year, and so we went from some of it being known that they were kind of on the look for a new coach, to this week it being clear from everyone in the league, the media, all the insiders, all of that Bruce was done. That talk is coming here, which hasn't been announced yet. Bruce has been fired as of this morning. Talkett has not been announced as the new head coach, but we all know that that's coming.
And we got to start with a big story that continues to roll on. We'll start with you, Jeff. Latest on the Canucks.
It's almost over. Well, no, there'll be another chapter to the saga, but the first part is almost over. So on Monday, we expect Rick Tocchet to be announced as the next head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. And as the first intermission panel talked about, nobody likes the way this has unfolded. Nobody likes the way this has been handled. But Bruce Boudreau leaves very much with his integrity intact, his head held high. I think he's gained a lot of respect around the league for just, refusing to fire back when he's been demeaned or insulted. I don't know if Vancouver is planning to allow him to have a press conference. I think we all hope that they will, so Bruce Boudreau can, say goodbye properly. But, safe to say, Elliot, this slow, long walk to the electric chair is almost over for Boudreau.
And they paraded Bruce out there in front of the media all week. Had him crying in front of the fans, in front of the media.
You personally approach this back to back, and will you take some time to savor it?
I don't know yet. I really, I'd be a fool not to say that I don't know what's going on, but I just, like I said before, you come to work and you realize, how great the game is.
I saw you get a little emotional just now. What does it mean to you to be a head coach in this league?
I'll talk later.
In a season that's been full of turmoil, it's hard to imagine we will forget the chance of Bruce. There it is anytime soon. And there is an emotional Bruce Boudreau behind the Canucks bench.
Yeah, and he's taking it in right now. Thanking the fans. Very emotional, heading down.
Just broke this poor man and this poor team. Apparently every single player on the team basically went through the dressing room last night crying with Bruce. Curtis Lazar was, quote, inconsolable and could only squeak out basically that this is one of the hardest days he's ever had in hockey. I mean, what is going on?
It's embarrassing. It's an absolute joke. Like,
this is one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in the game. I've seen some coaches treated poorly. We think about Gerard Gallant and things like that. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if the league's ever seen anything like this. And I hope they're taking note. Like, I hope that the NHL is looking at that going, one of our organizations is running this way. because this is a fiasco, and it's an embarrassment on not just the team but the entire league.
That's an embarrassment to hockey.
This is one of the winningest coaches ever. He's one of only 2 coaches, or maybe a few coaches with 1,000 games played or coached.
He has a winning record with the Canucks right now.
Yeah,
he has 50, 40, and
he's over
500%. Yeah, well over. It's enough that it's not even a fireable record, really.
Over 1,000 games coached, and the only coach with a better winning percentage over 1,000 games is Scotty Bowman. And this is how you do the man. It's an embarrassment. There's been a lot of bad shit around the Canucks over the last couple years, and the horrible treatment of a coach that's been that's first of all won games with this garbage team.
Been a beacon of hope in the dressing room.
In the dressing room and in the media, he turned the entire vibes around this team immediately.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, I had tickets to his first game, which I'd bought a little while in advance, and I was not looking forward to going to that game when it was run by Travis Green and stuff. And his first game here, immediately, the Bruce There It Is chants, the entire energy changed around this organization.
I was going to say, I've never seen a coach taken in so quickly by the fans. It takes usually at least 10, 15 games, even for the hardcore fans, to be like, okay, I really like this guy.
Yeah.
He was immediately indoctrinated into the Canucks family.
Immediately.
And
it's impossible not to. He's just such a great guy by all accounts.
Absolutely. And he's just been such a pinnacle of greatness in hockey for so long, and just such a class act through and through. The way that he's handled this whole situation, he's been nothing but humble, nothing but modest.
Yeah.
He's been jovial at the worst of times, which he doesn't owe anyone at all.
No, absolutely not.
He
took the high road the whole way.
This reminds me of, we talked about it last night, but the Leafs, back when they fired their coach, and then they brought him back a few games later with the paper bag because that went so poorly. It's that level of embarrassing where it's you're never going to forget this. It's always going to be a paper bag moment.
Yeah. Yeah. This is as big a black stain as I can imagine on this organization. And I think back to, being a Canucks fan, I'm not here to defend the Canucks or anything like that, but you think back to when this group was great 15 years ago or so in 2011 and stuff, and it was kind of flipped where this organization was one of the top organizations in sports, and we had these garbage ass fans rioting after a Game 7 loss, and now we fast forward to now, and it seems to have flipped where we have this organization that has no idea what's going on, and the fans showed nothing but class to Bruce Boudreau last night and the game before.
Absolutely. And I do love to see that turnaround too, because I think that kind of change actually does start from the fans forward.
Right.
And it starts a lot with voting with your money.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it will come.
Dude.
And I don't think the Canucks are going to see a very fruitful next 5 years if they keep this up.
Yeah. Francesco Aquilini, I know you're listening. Buddy, I have spent so much money on the Canucks. Like for real. I've bought tickets for years, both to see the Canucks and whoever's coming into town. I have more Canucks jerseys than any other team jersey. I probably have 20 Canucks jerseys.
That's insane.
I buy tickets every year, and that's it. I'm not giving this clown another cent of my money. Fuck that guy. I'll go to Seattle to watch a game.
That's fair.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
And just to really make that noted, he started watching soccer.
I did actually, yeah.
Because of this.
I did. Shout out to Chris for putting me on to soccer, and let's go Chelsea, baby. Because yeah. Think about that for a second. I started watching soccer.
Not just watching. He wakes up at 3 a.m.
Hey man,
to watch the games. That's how bad he feels about the Canucks.
We got up at 4 yesterday to watch a 0-0 through 90 minutes. It was tight. Let's go.
Smashing. Absolutely riveting game.
Yeah. So anyways, it's just a fiasco. I feel so bad for Bruce. He doesn't. He deserves so much better than that. And I feel for Rick Tocchet because you're walking into the wolves, buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to make friends, especially early. You're gonna feel like the black sheep. You're gonna feel like the odd man out, the fly in the ointment. I don't think the players are gonna take too kindly to him either.
No. Well, my prediction was my prediction still is we're gonna pick 13th. The Canucks are gonna be picking 13th. Because they have a very easy schedule through the rest of the way here, and Thatcher Demko is coming back soon. And new coach, maybe a bump. I don't think that bump's coming. You look at how much these players care about that coach. I don't think they're happy about this.
No.
And they shouldn't be.
No, and it's hard to will a team around that kind of atmosphere. Like any team.
And the insane thing is I do understand the notion that Rick Tocchet might be the one to put JT in line. However, like, if you need to get the guy you just gave $60 million to in line, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're doing something wrong fundamentally at the top.
Yes.
From the beginning.
Yes.
There's no makeshift tarp or patch for this. Like,
shout out to Thomas Drance. One of the things he always says is a right move done the wrong way is still the wrong move.
Yes.
And that's exactly what this organization does time and time again.
Well, and OEL already doesn't get along with the guy.
Yeah. They have a history.
He's
not a good one.
He's on the bubble of being a healthy scratch already. Has been this season twice.
Yeah.
And you think that he's going to improve his play? Like, that's not a player you're getting rid of. And it's not a player that you can reasonably have playing as a healthy scratch or in the A. That's a Louis Eriksson situation all over again.
Yeah.
This is a guy you need to get a coach that will work with him and communicate with him. I hope to God that they do get Gonchar in there. I think that would be fantastic.
Gonchar is in. He's hired.
I think that he would really do some wonders there, but I hope that what he brings is not overshadowed by the toxic that already exists with that relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because
I agree with that completely.
He could do way more than anyone else ever did for OEL, and it could just fall on deaf ears if he's being shouted at every morning before he even gets to Gonchar.
Yeah.
It's a tough
situation. And if the Canucks do believe, which I think they do, that they can turn this around in the next couple years, you need OEL to find his game again, and you need OEL to be worth somewhat his money, and you need JT Miller to be worth somewhat his money. Bringing in Rick Tocchet doesn't seem like a good start to that.
Yeah, no. I mean, maybe for JT, maybe. But I mean...
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, that's such a tough one.
Mark my words. This team's going to pick 13th overall. And it's going to be a joke. And I'm over it. Trade Bo Horvat already so I can enjoy watching them. Wherever he goes. Seattle. Something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that he's more likely to land in Boston. I think they have a lot of
shut the fuck up,
quote unquote, hockey ready players.
No,
they can make a hockey trade, which your dumbass organization wants for some reason. So that'll give you what you want. Rolls eyes, and
whatever.
I heard that.
Whatever.
I heard Tampa's shopping for Shen.
My expansion bros, let's go Buffalo. Buffalo's a lot of fun to watch right now. I quite like Buffalo. Shen. Apparently the Canucks turned down a second-round pick for him last year. Hopefully they don't make the same mistake this year.
I think they might get a little more this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it might end up looking like the better move long run, but I think that's still a mistake that just got lucky at the end of the day.
I mean, he's 32 years old. He's fantastic in the locker room. He was speaking last night after in the post-game availability. Like, he was speaking like a captain. Like, that's a guy that's a fantastic leader, great in the room, strong on the ice, a big body, physical, cup winner, 32 years old, under $1 million. I mean, there's a lot of value there for a lot of teams.
Oh, especially in the cap era right now.
Yeah.
Like, it is so tight. Yeah. Like, that's going to be something that everyone's looking at, but Tampa is definitely the forerunner
Yeah, Tampa, and I heard I think I heard the Wild as well, but Tampa was probably the main forerunner.
Yeah, no, I don't see the Wild being able to shed what anyone's willing to.
Yeah, that's valid.
They're gonna get outbid,
right?
Because they have such an issue already with their cap that they need to be relying on fresh prospects and fresh picks all the time.
Yeah,
they're still boned for another 5 years.
Yeah, Minnesota's in a really difficult place. That's for sure.
They're in cap jail, cap hell, if you will. They're not going out of it anytime soon either with the Parise and Suter contracts that bought out. It's looking tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a couple million in cap space, but nothing crazy. Yeah,
no. They got like 3.5, but they've been really cheesing around it too.
Yeah.
So ho hum.
That's tough. Those buyouts are painful. You're paying $14 million for Ryan Suter and Zach Parise next year and the year after.
Yeah, yeah. That's.
Those are like. There's always a move, like a moment in time that can really handcuff a team long term, and sometimes it's one move. Sometimes it's seriously one move can be the difference between your cup and just being a playoff team, and then one move can be the difference between a perennial playoff team and a perennial bubble team, and that's their move.
Yeah, they did it twice.
Yeah,
it's something.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
As much as I was iffy on Lou's leadership,
yeah,
glad he let Parise walk.
Yeah, that's very fair. Very, very fair.
I was mad when that happened. I was like, what do you mean we can't find the money?
Yeah.
We suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not mad anymore.
That's very valid. Okay, moving on from the Bruce Boudreau saga, which I'd like to cap off with just saying, Bruce, hope you find another job, buddy, because I'm cheering for you, and I think the whole city of Vancouver is, and you're never paying for a beer again in this city, pal.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to see him land another job next year.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. He deserves it. He's earned it. He's been nothing but great.
He's a fantastic coach. Like, even, we can look around and even you can look at the whole year and say this team's underperformed, and I don't know. I don't know if you can actually say that they've underperformed when you look at that defense and the fact that Demko's been injured. I don't think you can.
No. Considering your highest paid player refuses to back check?
Yeah, he does refuse to do that. All right, let's move on to the plight of the modern day Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Oh, whoa. Oh, the whoa. It's so tough.
Yeah, it's been just a really, really difficult time to be a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. I don't know if you guys know, but they're currently 29-16. And they haven't seen a cup in almost 2 years now.
Wow. Oof.
It's been like almost 8 months since they were in the final.
The horror.
And these fans, they justifiably made their anger known by throwing a jersey on the ice in Calgary.
Yeah, vote with your money.
Vote with your money. Vote with your wallets, boys. This is I totally understand it. This is completely reasonable. I'd be absolutely livid as well.
Yeah, each.
These guys are bozos. Whoever did that, you're a bozo.
This is a jacket.
Buddy.
It's about a Sergachev jersey too, though. So what the do you want? You buy the biggest goons jersey in the league, the guy that throws sucker punches over the net.
You know what? I love buying jerseys of not top end players.
I do too, but not him.
Sergey.
Yeah, not that. For a second, I thought that was a Canucks jersey. It should be.
Yeah. That I can get behind. Just throwing Canucks jerseys on the ice at any random game. It's just unbelievable, actually.
Imagine being down 5-3.
This is yeah.
And being this is the statement I need to make
right now. It's unbelievable, man. This is the spoiled rich kid throwing a little temper tantrum.
Yeah, they're not even in a wild card spot. They're in third in the division.
Yeah.
with a
hey, man,
28 goal differential,
it's a tough life being a Tampa Bay fan.
a 65 win percentage. Like,
Yeah. They're probably going to get Toronto again, in the first round.
yeah,
Toronto fans are going to be livid. Livid.
I think Toronto might actually get Tampa this year.
They could.
I think they might
could.
have their best.
I wouldn't be surprised. I thought they almost had the juice last year.
Yeah, and you know what? They're all playing a little better this year.
Yeah.
And their defensemen have been playing over their head.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to go shopping for a defenseman at this deadline. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
Yeah.
Their goaltending is serviceable as long as they don't get caught king with the net.
Yeah. It's
Matt
serviceable.
Murray. But Samsonov looked amazing last night.
Yeah, he's been good.
So even if Murray does get hurt and go out long term again, that doesn't seem to be too much of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And you have so many guys that are just producing at such a great rate right now. Like,
Yeah.
they're not superstars, but they're doing everything you need. They're keeping you
I
in
agree.
it.
Yeah, my only thing. Vasilevsky is like my Brady in this league. Like I don't count him out just ever. I will not count Vasilevsky out.
This is fair.
It'll be if it does happen, that'll be a phenomenal series.
Yeah, I would love to see that series. I want to see an
we
original
all know
six
where it'll
matchup again,
actually
though.
go. We all know where it'll go. Whether they play Boston or Tampa, we know this story.
Yeah, it's
We can sit here all year and say, it might be different. It's not.
It's a first round exit.
We know what this is.
Sponsored by milk. As cold and bland as the Leafs themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? They definitely should be sponsored by milk. That works out really well.
It does.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits on that milk ass jersey.
Whoever did that jersey, whoever did that marketing, you get a raise.
You nailed it.
A plus.
A little bit of more tough news. The Cole Caufield, he's gonna be done for the season.
That sucks, man.
That really does suck.
Yeah.
What a player. He's been just humming along. Not just this season, but since St. Louis came in. And I mean, I don't want to say this is good for anything, but it is kind of good for the Habs tank at the end of the day.
That is true. It does suck to lose this player, though.
It really does.
And it's amazing to see that he's been playing through it and playing at such a high rate. That's really impressive.
Yeah. And you just hate to see young players having season-ending injuries that young. Like it can be bad telling going forward. And hopefully he has a full recovery there.
Yeah, this reminds me of the Jack Hughes injuries, though.
Right.
And the Pedersen injuries.
Yep.
Like, I think that younger players getting injured is a lot more common nowadays. Unfortunately, they're just getting hammered a lot harder.
Yeah, and we just play them so much more.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
they're up to 20 minutes a game right away. They're not being entered in a third-line spot and being expected to do a 10-minute conditioning stint for half a season.
Exactly. And they're coming from playing 30 games in the junior leagues, 30 games a season, to now grinding out an 82-game schedule.
Yeah, and a full 82 with minimal time in the offseason. Like, you
Yeah.
really think about how demanding this is on the body and the mind.
And the
all
travel.
year. And the travel, yeah. And then you're going to go and you have to pack 3 months worth of family, like a year worth of family into 3 months in the summer. You're not getting that much time to rest. You're out with the kids, you're out with the girlfriend, you're out, living your life that you wanted to live for the last 9 months.
Yeah.
And then you're back to it.
Back to it.
And
exactly.
there's definitely a learning curve, I think, with a lot of these younger players where they aren't necessarily doing as much conditioning as they probably should.
Yeah, well, they don't know how much they're going to need it yet.
Exactly. Like, the guys like Crosby, Marchand, McKinnon, they all seem to gel together and just go to the rink every day in the summer anyways. So they're always in stride still.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these kids, I don't think they're necessarily in that habit, and they may be going to the golf course, to the cabin, to the lake, enjoying the money, enjoying their girlfriend.
Can't blame them for
the time with the lady. Sorry,
Yeah.
Like the travel's hard, especially when you're young. So but that might be the difference, because we didn't see Crosby getting these types of injuries, or Marchand or anyone.
No, not till a little later.
Exactly, and that was more hit induced and like direct head injuries that were thrown his way.
Yeah.
So
rest up there, Cole.
Yeah.
Excited to watch you again next season.
Shoulder injuries suck. My shoulder's been bummed for like 3 months now, and it It sucks. Like I wake up every morning in like intense pain. Sometimes like your hand goes numb and very unpleasant.
Nice. That's sick, dude.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
It's getting better. I scored a playoff goal last night. Let's go.
Yeah, he did.
Let's go. Captain Clutch. First goal of the season.
First goal of the season.
First game of the playoffs.
I love it.
All we do is eat apples. I don't know.
Okay, on to one more really shitty note.
Yeah.
Ivan Provorov. I don't really need to go over this, I don't think. Everyone kind of knows he didn't suit up for the NHL's Pride Night. The Flyers Pride Night. Just didn't wear the jersey for warm-ups. That was pretty cool of him. He cited some Russian Orthodox beliefs, and yeah.
Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion.
Of course.
And you're entitled to your own body autonomy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Despite what some of those religious and Orthodox views might state otherwise for women. But hey, you know what? I can't attack anyone for their religious beliefs, so we won't. But it's kind of shitty that you just won't even wear a jersey.
Yeah, for warm up. Like
it's not a statement you're gay. It's not a statement that like I think Frege put it best that like it's literally just saying that this is a safe space for everyone. You are welcome here. You are seen in the community.
Yeah.
They have a heritage night for the indigenous people. They have one for down near the southern parts of the states. They have a Mexican Pride Night or a Latino X Pride Night.
Yeah.
Depending on what area that you're in.
Right.
And it's the same concept. It's just a conversation. Like as much as it is any other conversation. And I'm glad that we're in a place where we can have these conversations and players can be themselves in the locker room and not have to hide behind anything. I think that's really great. I think that this sets it back a little bit. It's just, those views are still very prevalent in hockey, and it sucks to see it voiced, but you're allowed to have that opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, you are, right? Like some people were calling for him to be punished by the league and stuff like that. I mean, when you cite your religious beliefs, there's not really anything the league can do about it, right? That's a pretty cut and dry discrimination case, considering it's a protected right. But I mean, yeah, like you're also allowed to say you're
entitled to your freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech doesn't deny other people their freedom of speech towards you.
Yeah, totally.
Like just because you can't be persecuted legally doesn't mean that you won't be persecuted socially.
Right. Which is hey man, that's fair. That's how it always has been. And you won't be persecuted like judicially for it. No. You won't go to jail for it, which by the way, you will in Russia for being gay. So
yeah, I mean, and that also goes back to like I kind of had this thought as well, where it's like if he lives in Russia and he has family in Russia, and then like the whole Ovechkin situation we were talking about, it's like how much can you really do and how much can you really like
well maybe
I don't know,
maybe
there might be something
there might
over
be
there,
something
like I'm not one to judge someone on their story without hearing it first. If he's just a religious nut that feels that people shouldn't have their own choice and gay people aren't people, then fuck you.
Yeah,
whatever. You're an asshole. I used to be a huge Ivan Provorov fan. I can't say that I would want him on my team anymore. I could find 10 other serviceable defensemen. I'm glad that you're playing below war, and I hope it's to trade you.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you're entitled to those beliefs, and we're entitled to think you're. It makes it great when you go to a game now. Like if you go to a Philly game, it's going to be just awesome. You're going to be able to tell right away who's the and who's not.
Yeah.
Just looking at the Provorov jerseys, you're going to be like, sweet, don't have to talk to that guy.
Yep. Oh yeah. I know where you sit.
Got to look at the silver linings, right?
Yeah, exactly. This reminds me a lot of some tweets that surfaced from an ECHL player not that long ago.
Oh yeah, that guy.
He had like one goal in the last like 57 games.
No, dude. He's had like one goal since 2016 or something.
Oh, good.
Like it's been like 4 years since he scored a goal.
Yeah,
maybe 2017. I lied.
Put a bunch of incredibly hateful tweets out, just being a total complete loser, and he got canned for it, and good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, and there's a big difference, right? Like that's a perfect thing to bring up here because that's totally different. There's a very big difference between I'm not gonna, go out there for Pride Night and it's religious or political or whatever it is, and that's something where we can say, okay, legally, there's no real grounds here to fire the guy.
And
when
he did respectfully bow out. It was a team meeting, and he said, "This is my reasoning, and I'm sorry if you feel that way, but like this is."
Yeah, he didn't go up there and be like, I hate gay people.
Yeah, he wasn't spouting like, let's not get that crossed up. Like he wasn't spouting a bunch of like rhetoric that was hateful or harmful in any way.
Exactly.
That
Whereas
we know of
this ECHL player was. And then people still say the same thing of, oh, freedom of speech. You can't fire someone for thinking differently. And it's like, no. It's not about thinking differently. You can't go out there and hate tweet at everyone and expect, like, I've been told since I was like 5 years old, dude, watch what you post on the internet because employers look at it.
Yeah.
When you're the face of an organization, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And like, I know that everyone says, oh, it's an ECHL team. We had an ECHL team. You know why? Because we didn't have anything better. So to those kids that still live in that city, those people are still gods to them.
They were those like the Salmon Kings. When they were in Victoria, dude, they were a lot of kids' heroes.
I loved Matt Kelly. Matt Kelly was sick. Steve Lindgren, sick.
Yeah, there you go.
Wes Goldie, sick.
There you go. These guys are role models in their communities. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's really, really incredibly easy to not go spew hate on Twitter. And if you have a public-facing job, that's one of the things you kind of just have to do. I don't feel bad for you if you do it.
No, exactly. Go to some therapy. Go figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, no excuses at this point. It's 2023. Like, get your shit together. You're allowed to have your own opinions.
Be a normal person. Of course you are. Of course you are.
Be a adult as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm happy that it was what it was and nothing more, but also nothing less. We got a lot of really important conversations started again.
Yeah.
We had a lot of really progressive conversations that moved forward in the game. I found that actually like might have changed some opinions and actually helped the cause going forward. It sucks that it has to happen, but it could have happened way worse, and it could have been a lot uglier. And I'm glad that both sides kind of were able to be respectful about it and come to the table and just have a conversation. Because at the end of the day, that's what this should always be.
Absolutely. And for the people out there that think that that got way too heated about this on Twitter and started spewing much worse everywhere, get off the app.
Yeah, and hate doesn't solve hate.
Yeah.
I've been angry for a large part of my life.
Yeah.
It didn't help. It didn't.
No.
It just made me suffer more.
Yeah.
And it made me suffer more because I thought that everyone else thought something that I already had preconceived.
Right.
Not everyone's your enemy. And believe it or not, like some people just have different upbringings.
Yeah.
And not everyone's views are set in stone either.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, we always change as people.
Yeah.
We're always going to grow. You may have stopped progressing at 25 when you're done puberty and
your brain is developed.
Yeah, it's fully developed as an adult, but like you're never done growing. You're always going to absorb new ideas, concepts, philosophies. It's just the way of nature. Old people don't get that wise just because one day.
Yeah.
You know?
Well said, Trill. So on that note, I think that's all we got today.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to go back really quick. Can you pull up those notes? Because we lost this audio, unfortunately, so we were missing the other notes. Thank you. Yes. We just missed a little bit of this episode's. We lost it. It got corrupted. Sorry, guys. But I just wanted to touch on a couple things here. There was a couple really beauty points we had. We'll skip most of the Canucks. They fucked up the Pearson hand surgery.
Yeah,
they had no clue what was going on. It doesn't matter right now. We'll touch on that later as more develops. Torts in the iPads is worth a laugh. Just doesn't want him on the bench. Thinks his players are too self-concerned.
Yeah,
that's some good shit.
Took them away so that they were only focusing on the next shift.
And yeah,
what in the boomer shit is that? But hey, I thought it was funny.
And the last thing I wanted to touch on, which actually brought me into this in the first place, was just wanted to touch on Kelly Hrudey and his mental health awareness, because this was a really special point, and I feel like it should be touched on now more than ever, given what happened with the Provorov situation and some people probably feeling a little ostracized and silenced in the community and a little not welcome in hockey right now. And you know what? It's tough. Hrudey tweeted out, most people know I'm dealing with mental health issues. Yesterday was a bad day, my worst in 11 months. If not for a rude fam answering a million desperate calls, my broadcast partner Rick Ball and our producer Larry Isaac, I don't know if I could have been called to the game with Rick. So, you know, he's just been very open and honest with his struggles right now. And I think that that's incredible. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't owe it to anyone, but he's doing it for the culture, for hockey, for mental health. And I just want to commend him for it.
It's beautiful.
We love you over here, Rudes. We dropped a couple follows for you. You know, we're watching. We're always hoping for the best for you.
Yeah. And he mentioned last night, tying back into the Bruce Boudreau thing. He said this is insane how you're looking at Bruce Boudreau crying on the bench, and it's Hockey Talks night. There's the big Hockey Talks banner behind him. And we're supposed to be talking about mental health, and this is how an organization is treating one of its key people.
And Bruce, who doesn't drink anymore, as he cited in his interview, is talking about wanting to drink again. It's like, damn, like that's a dark place to be, I can say, as someone who's recovering from alcoholism. Those days happen, but it shouldn't happen from your employer, where you should feel safe and included at work. But, you know, shout out Kelly Hrudey for being so open and honest about everything and just being such a strong voice for mental health in hockey.
Absolutely.
You are loved. If you're feeling down bad out there right now, just know that there's always another day, another shift. Keep your head up. You're welcome here. You're loved. You're accepted. And
Absolutely.
No matter what, you will always have a friend in this hockey community locker room.
Absolutely. Well said, Trill.
Yeah, if you're ever feeling down bad, if you're feeling unloved, just remember that there's tons of people that would do anything for you, and it's just a text away.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. I think we're capping off on that. That was beautiful.
Hell yeah. That's all I got.
Hockey's for everyone. Keep your head up.
Keep your head up.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.